Ladies and gentlemen, so excited for our special guest. You know him, you love him. He's always on the reel. My man,
Hey,
Killer Mike.
how you doing, love? How are you?
I love you so much, brother. First of all, thank you for taking time out to talk to us because I think, we like to talk to people that, really understand and are studying what is happening to us. But we want to ask, what's going on with you? Are you okay? Are you quarantined? Your family okay?
Yeah, well, I have had asthma and I get bronchial in the spring anyway. So my wife had already quarantined me in a bedroom because right with right with all that pollen coming in Georgia, I got pretty beat up. So I was laid out for like 10, 11 days. But it was just due to, I've been, as my grandma would say, you was a coward child. So I've been sick. So actually, I didn't get to move around as much. A lot of our shows got canceled. Jordan the Jewels was playing, we were playing Coachella this year. And that got canceled. So stuff got moved back, not canceled. But, I'm thanking God we're here. And for the people that have lost people, my thoughts and prayers are with them. And for the ones that are here, just stay in and stay healthy and limit yourself from exposure.
Exactly. I just wanted to talk to you, Mike, because I wanted to get your thoughts on what's going on right now and what's the psychology behind it. What are your thoughts? That's the first thing I want to know. What do you think about what's going on right now?
Well, I don't know what to think about some things. What I do know is that we have an election that's still happening. We have a United States census that's still happening. And we have a pandemic. And as I see it, as it relates to our community, and right now I'm speaking to the Black community, even though we're part of the larger community, I'm talking to people who look like you and me because they're the hardest hit by these three different things. So Black people, first and foremost, the easy thing is go to the U.S. Census website and fill out the census. Most people who look like us live next to each other. So we need to let them know where we're living and how densely populated. And that even means our homies and brothers and cousins that might be standing in front of the store, bring their little butt up on the phone and have them put that information in, because that allows us more federal and state resources. And it also allows us proper representation in terms of senators and congressmen and who represents us under these gold domes. So I want us to do that because it's too easy not to do. And in fact, we're starting a campaign in Atlanta just called Count Me In. Don't count me out, count me in. So if you look at the people that believe that an election was stolen from Stacey Abrams, that's about us not being counted. So you want to make sure resources come to your public schools by way of lunch funding, breakfast funding, then count me in. So make sure you're counted. So that's the easy one. The next thing is African Americans. I feel I lost the best candidate in terms of what we needed in Senator Sanders. He's moved on, but Nina Turner, who was his campaign co-chair, is an amazing progressive leader. And I want us to all follow Nina Turner, Ohio, because I'm going to follow her leadership, to be honest with you, in these times. She's a Black woman. She's from Ohio. She's been a state representative. She worked on both sides of the aisle, and she's a leader, and she gets it done. I know some people were burning a bust, and they're not going to follow Bernie into Biden's campaign. But with that said, there's still an opportunity to radically transform the Democratic Party into a more progressive party, and I would encourage all to do so. And then just take your butt back local. We have elections coming up in a year or two in terms of representatives. Get your butt out and vote. Find out who your prosecutors, judges are, who you like, don't like, and just educate yourself and go to your neighborhood meetings and stuff like that. So the easy stuff was the census. The next stuff is just figuring out who you're going to vote for. You know what I mean? And the next thing is the pandemic that we're facing. I was on the phone yesterday with the former Surgeon General under Barack Obama, Ms. Regina Benjamin, or Dr. Regina Benjamin. Yes. She's a rural doctor. So she comes, and her practice is out of Low Country, Alabama, and it's right out of those Gulfports. So it's not like she's been in a fancy place like Atlanta, New York, or D.C., or L.A. She's been working with people who look like us, poor white people, us and poor white folk in the South. So she understands that things like diabetes affects both of us, poor people, period, but in particular, Black people, right? Because our diet is not what it should be. Hypertension, heart disease, things of that nature. Well, your body is weak. So if things are introduced to an already weakened body, it's easier to ravish that body. So we talked about, I didn't mean Low Country, but what we were talking about was like what I was trying to say was the Gulf. But what's happening is our nutrition has to get better, meaning we don't have places to get fresh food around us. So we have to start to fix that. What's happening is they've taken recess out of public schools. So we got to fight to get recess back in public schools. And just on a national campaign now, Whether you think it's 5G, 4G, whether you think the government has a plot to knock people off or Bill Gates is his plot, no matter what you think, you can never go wrong staying inside, focusing on your own health, spending time with your partner and your kids, and making sure that you bring this big world back to this small place called home. You just can never go wrong doing it. I remember my grandmother, when I was a kid and it was storm and tornado season would come, she'd say, just sit down and let the Lord do his work. And really what that means is sometimes you have to let it pass. So take the time, right? Take the time right now to focus on yourself, right? To focus on doing something like growing a tomato. Take some time to spend some time and talk and refresh with your partner. And I promise you, as Americans, if we stick together, we'll make it through this. Meaning, if you stay in apartments, now's the time to write a letter to everybody in your apartments and say, we're going to put a freeze on rent for the next 3 months. They can't evict us all. The court's closed. Shouts out to the Paul Kids Network and Grove Park out here feeding people. So that's why I want you to know, like, now is the time to organize. You finally have what you've been asking God for, some time to sit down. Well, sit down. And clear your thoughts, and everything is going to be okay. We have survived far worse than this. Child, we survived Reagan and Nixon and slavery and Jim Crow. We will survive and thrive. And I just want Black people to be encouraged. So do the easy thing, fill out the census. Do the next easiest thing, figure out who you're going to vote for and why. And there's nothing wrong with voting for selfish reasons. What do I need? And I'm going to vote for that. And then thirdly, let's make sure we're taking care of our own individual health, taking care of our partners, and doing things like getting outside, moving around. I'm 30 pounds down from moving around. I'm growing my own garden. And y'all know I'm hunting, fishing, so I definitely got guns. Don't come to the house with that bullshit.
Oh, my goodness. Now, this is the thing I want to the people that, because I got to give you applause on all of that you just said. But the people that, because you know how we are as Black folks with the census. And we like, that's the government trying to get our info.
Hey, man, let me tell you about a man named Willie Sherwood. My granddaddy, it was nothing he hated worse than Jehovah's Witness coming to his door when he was asleep on the Census Bureau. And he went in his boxers and no T-shirt to talk to both of them. He would open the door for the census, say, there's 2 boys, there's 2 girls, 1 boy here. This is their age. It's me and my wife. This is our age. And that was it. So when I tell you, it's you don't have to give too much of your information up, but what you're doing is making sure they count you in. You're making sure that you are counted, because if it's 10 people in the house and you're reporting 4, that's 6 people that's gonna get left off of. Well, do we have enough people to allocate these federal dollars here? And you want that because you want your community to be treated fairly. So trust me, I'm as distrustful of the government as anyone else. But this is the case where you got to follow what would the libertarians do. You might not even know that's a whole nother party. White folks got to the side. They have all the fun. They got guns. They don't believe in taxes. There's all kind of crazy thing going on over there. But they are not giving the government too much information. And my grandfather was like that. So give only the bare minimum. This is my age. This is my race. This is where I live. And get on out of there. And you'll be done and timid. By the time you're halfway through your joint, you'll be done. Somebody shouted out my granddaddy. Willie Sherwood shouts out Mr. Willie.
That's what we do. We about love on my page. It ain't nothing but love for our followers and people like you. Mike, what do you say to people right now that's having anxiety with what's happening? What is the word that you can give to them?
That it's going to be okay. Take advantage of any federal funding you can get right now. So Robert Smith has created an app because workers definitely feel anxiety. But there's a whole section of people that own small businesses and medium businesses that employ workers. We are as afraid as you are more because we don't want to furlough y'all, or we don't want you guys to have to quit or fire you guys. We want not only our businesses to thrive, we love our employees. We want to see them thrive as well. So for me, there's an app that Robert Smith put out. Now I put it up. Charlemagne has put it up already. Go download that app because small businesses, it helps to fast track you in terms of getting these federal loans you deserve. So just like Chase just got, I think, Ruth Chris got $20 million, right? So there's somebody with Bubba's restaurant with only 5 or 6 restaurants, Bubba deserves that as well. His barbecue restaurant deserves, as much as he can get. So let's do that. Pivot to Robert Smith, download that app, and get your business going. Now, workers who have anxiety, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be anxious. It's not okay to yell and scream at each other. If you're in the house together, it's not okay to get mad at the baby and get frustrated. We're going to have to learn to live with a lot less, right? So I cannot go buy a raffle car, and that's fine. Like, because I live like a middle class dad, so I'm gonna drive my truck and cool it. But for the real middle class dads out there, now's not the time maybe to make some of the moves we were going to make. Now is the time to see what government subsidies are available. And there's nothing wrong with getting subsidizing it from government because you pay your taxes faithfully every single year. So you ain't got to be ashamed for asking for $1,200. You ain't got to be ashamed for wanting $2,000. You do not have to be ashamed because this is your money. And just like they keep businesses afloat, they should make sure the cash keeps coming through yours too. So I'm gonna tell you, no matter who you voting for, take some money at the government giving it to you because you deserve it.
That's right, all day long. Okay,
and the other thing is go outside. Go outside. Like I was raised in the country, so I'm from Atlanta, but our grandparents took us down to the country and dropped us off in the summer. So you might be in Tuskegee, you might come back, well, you full African, how nappy, dark as you can be. You done learn how to pick and cut and make everything. So what I realized is that time went longer when I was in Tuskegee. Have distractions. It was just me and my cousins and the grass and trees. Go outside. Even if you live in apartments, go outside with your children. Spend some time outside. Get you an hour in. You deserve that. You're not at work. You don't have to be. And if you are at work, just put the computer on pause for an hour telling you the internet glitched out. But let's get outside. And if 54% of Black people live in the South, and if you're a Southerner, you know somebody that fishes, you know somebody that grows food or hunts or something, get back to your roots so you're not scared. You know, if you learn how to grow a sweet potato, you can make 5-6 different meals a day. You can have sweet potato pie, you can have sweet potato bake, you can do sweet potato souffle, you can have sweet potato with your avocado. But it's time that we start leaning on the stuff that we already know and not let fear overtake us and turn the damn news off. Like, look at Loni. She gonna make you laugh, but turn the news off. It's not good for you.
You're right, exactly. Killer Mike, I love you so much. I just wanted a little bit of time just to help, people to understand that everything is gonna be all right. Go ahead.
I want to shout out Maria. It's our superintendent, Atlanta Public Schools. It's like Karska Scarfison. She just got a cool last name, but Black woman out of Alabama. She called me, said, Mike, we've run out of supplies. Next brother I got to thank is Freddie Figures of Figures Wireless. It sounds like the N-word, but it's just with an F. Figures. Okay. I love this brother. This brother started a school in Africa for girls so they wouldn't get abused. This brother gave 5,000 masks, glove sets, and smocks to the Atlanta public school system with no strings attached so that they could service kids and kids could still get breakfast and lunch. That happened today. We had the conversation 2 days ago. So this is a rapper talking to a school superintendent, calling a brother with the only Black wireless company in the country, one of two, maybe two, and this happening. So if we all do a little, we don't have to do a lot. And if we're working on ourselves and on our community, we don't have to wait for anybody to come save us. That's what 2 phone calls and 3 Black people were able to do. So Black people and all people stay encouraged. I love you, Loni. I love you, sister. And be well.
I love you, Killer Mike. Let everybody know where we can hear your stuff and everything from. Keep in touch with you.
The new Run the Jewels single is out, Ooh La La, featuring Greg Nice and DJ Premier on the cuts. We also have Yankee and the Brave, which we dropped as a street single. Run the Jewels 4 is coming, and we're going to get out there on the road and open for Rage Against the Machine when they open the world back up, and we're going to shit up. Y'all know what we do.
We love you, Mike.
All right, love you.
Take care, okay, sweetie?
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, love.